That's one thing that's still consistently so impressive for me about Marvel Future Fight, and it's one reason why I still really want to support this game after 5+ years. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and it seems like Marvel Future Fight could not last a day. They saw me making another video, they hit the panic button, they're like, hold up, this man's not going to upload any Marvel Future Fight content for 48 hours? We cannot allow that. So lo and behold, we are back here. They dropped the sneak peek for Carnage. Obviously, I'm being a bit facetious. I'm being sarcastic. I don't think that they are planning their sneak peeks. I don't think I forced them to drop this sneak peek because they didn't make a video on Marvel Future Fight. But, you know, deep down, maybe I hope that quitting the Star Creator Club, making fewer MFF videos, I hope that's having the intended effect, because I don't want to be taking a break from Marvel Future Fight videos, right? I want to be uploading more of these videos. I want to be uploading videos talking to you guys about all this wacky kind of stuff. You know, even if I don't have any ideas, I'll make up content, okay? Tallest character in Marvel Future Fight, shortest character in Marvel Future Fight, fastest character in Marvel Future Fight, slowest character in Marvel Future. I'll do it, but I can't because they're making the game crummy and greedy and lame with the greed. So you know, it forces us to boycott. But anywho, we have a pretty spicy sneak peek. I'm still going to cover the really important stuff, and this is really important. It's a brand new uniform. It's a brand new tier 3 for a highly requested character. Who is it? Well, of course, it's none other than Yondu, is what I would be saying if it was Yondu, but it's not. The long-awaited Prophet of Null has made an appearance. Also, shout out to any Swedish people watching the stream. The Prophet of Null. That's right. The bloodthirsty symbiote has acquired nearly every codex, and upgraded his powers to the maximum to welcome the Lord of the Abyss to Earth. Cue the heavy metal music. Agents, are you prepared to open your wallets? No. Are you prepared to stand against absolute carnage? Let there be carnage. And then we have the sneak peek. Cletus Cassidy makes his final move and takes flight. We will inform you with more details of his power in later announcements. We have the new sneak peek here. Now I want to jump in and show you guys the sneak peek. So here's the sneak peek. Just a quick warning, there is a bit of a jump in the sound. It's still sort of, you know, within the parameters, but yeah, in case you got this on blast, this might spook you out. Might freak you out, might scare you a little bit. Really cool sneak peek. Very nice visuals and even better sound engineering. The sound mixing on this video is... We got everything. We got the dripping. We got the blood dripping. This is very Halloween. This is very spooky. This is exactly the kind of content we need in Marvel Future Fight. The more adult content, the more mature content, the more... This is the hype content. This is what I want to get hyped for. This is what players want to be excited for. But I'm saying this knowing that in the back of my mind, we cannot fully support the update and we cannot fully support Marvel Future Fight because they're being so freaking greedy. Anywho, if you look right there, it says T3. So they didn't try to hide it this time. It says very clearly T3. So Carnage is getting a uniform and a tier 3. So when we pause it here, if we're very careful, we pause it right here, and we can see the brand new uniform for Carnage. So now let's switch back to the actual in-game music, and then we can talk about this new uniform for Carnage. There we go. So it looks like he's getting this uniform here. You can see it's got red and sort of like a dark red, kind of a black. We've got the Berserk, the symbiote Berserk symbol. We've got the horns. So this look for Carnage most accurately reflects, I believe it is this one right here. Yes, this one right here. Very, very similar to what we're seeing there. It may be a little bit more reddish, but you can see it's even got those sort of, they look like lava marks that he has there, on the horns there, and on the shoulders there. And then, of course, the symbiote icon emblazoned in the middle. You can sort of see it peeking out. It'll be interesting to see how they handle his spinal, because if he actually looks like this for the in-game model, it'll be amazing. Again, in-game models, character design, skill effects. Marvel Future Fight is basically #1, right? I have not seen a mobile game, maybe like Genshin Impact and maybe 7 Deadly Sins, but I haven't seen very many mobile games. And if you guys know any other mobile games that can compete visually with Marvel Future Fight, hit me up in the comments down below and let me know. I mean, there are some of the specials in Contest of Champions are very cool, but maybe just a couple of them. But there's very, very few mobile games. And by the way, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross and Genshin Impact were both released, at least the global version for 7 Deadly Sins. But anyways, they were released in 2019 and 2020. So these are games that were released like a year ago, right? These are not old games, and they're competing with a game that's over 5 years old. Now, of course, the updates in Marvel Future Fight are new, right? But stick around, right? Let's see if they're still putting as much effort into the Genshin Impact characters and the skill animations 5 years from now as they are now with brand new characters. I'm not trying to diss. Just to quickly back up here. Genshin Impact and Grand Cross are great games. I play one of them and I don't play the other one. I'm just saying that that's one thing that's still consistently so impressive for me about Marvel Future Fight, and it's one reason why I still really want to support this game after 5+ years. The character design, the character animations, and the skills, effects, and all that stuff are always top quality. Very, very, very rarely are we disappointed with those aspects of the updates, and that is rare given the fact that not only are they pulling from source material that's very hard to imitate a lot of the times, like these are not just characters that are waving their hands and creating fire, right? It's not just like a pyromancer or an ice wizard. Like these are characters that are visually disfigured. His entire stomach is missing, right? Like these characters don't look. Mr. Fantastic is literally like stretching his body and stuff, right? They don't look like just regular proportioned characters doing regular things, you know? Sorry, I just hit my microphone. So that's one thing that's always been really impressive to me about Marvel Future Fight, and it's one of the reasons why I think the game has kept my attention for so long and for so many characters, right? Not only is it the fact that they're not creating characters that look normal and just have fancy animations, but it's also the fact that they are doing it so consistently. Over 200 characters in the game, and I would say, you know, 90% of them have very satisfying character animations, skill animations, and character models. And even going back to a character from like almost 5 years ago. Look at this. He transforms into a giant head. Like, it's just really cool, man. And this is old as hell. And this looks scuffed to us now. Right now we're looking at this and this is scuffed. And we're like, man, how did we deal with this 5 years ago? And his animations are so slow. You're falling asleep watching these animations, right? You can count the frames in your mind. But look at the little blobs drop and they jiggle around and then they disappear. There's a disappearing animation. Like they did a really good job. Like these people who work on the game do such a fantastic job. It's just a shame that the other departments in Marvel Future Fight don't match up, you know, because if the other departments in Marvel Future Fight, it's like a guy who goes to the gym. Here's a good analogy. It's like a guy who goes to the gym and he has really huge arms, and his arms are like 26 inches. He's got massive arms, but then his shoulders are underdeveloped. He's got no abs. He's got like a pot belly like me. He's got no leg muscles. He's got these skinny little chicken legs, and his back, you know, you probably couldn't get arms that big without at least developing a, you know, I don't know too much about muscle science and stuff like that, but anywho, it's kind of like that, right? When it comes to certain aspects of this game, they are top quality. They are literally still competing with games that are 3 or 4 years newer, which is usually unheard of in mobile games. And then other aspects of this game are absolutely chicken leg scenario type stuff. So Carnage is getting a tier 3 and a uniform. What does that mean for you as a player? Well, let me get on my high horse for a second. If there was no boycott, right? And I mean, you don't have to boycott personally, but if there was no boycott, I would be giving you the suggestion right now. I would be giving you the advice. Maybe think about investing in this mega uniform upgrade ticket if you don't have extra bios for Carnage laying around, or because you can just boom, snap, get his uniform to Mythic immediately, or if you have patience, right? If you're not a player who needs to have it right away, but you want to get Carnage eventually, and you want to get his uniform, whatever, eventually, then maybe you want to go over to the, where is it? I don't even know anymore because I haven't bought it in so long, right? The daily perks, and pick up the bio selector and start picking up bios for Carnage, right? And for those of you guys that are free to play, well, anyways, I'll talk about the free to plays in a second. But for those two suggestions that I just made, I can't make those suggestions because of the boycott, right? And it's a shame. It's a damn shame that I'm actually encouraging you guys not to spend money on this game, but I really think that it's in the best interest in the game. It's in the best interest of the game. Some people might disagree with me. Some people might say it's in the best interest of the game to support the game while still criticizing it. But I think we've come to a pivotal moment where we have to be louder and more black and white. We need to be more clearly defined in what we are willing to accept and not willing to accept. And so this is sort of where I draw the hard line on, you know, okay, I've had enough personally. If you guys are not going to change this, my money's gone, I'm closing my wallet. I've spent tons of money on this game, thousands of dollars. I'm done, completely done. And I, hope that you maybe see eye to eye with that. But it's a shame. It's really a shame because Carnage is really cool. He looks amazing. I'm sure the character model is going to be even better. All that stuff that I just said about character animations and stuff, I'm already betting, right? If I was a betting man, I would bet on Marvel Future Fight to nail those parts of the character. However, like, look at how cool Miles Morales looks, right? However, I just can't support their practices otherwise, which is a shame. It really puts me in an awkward situation. Not necessarily in an awkward situation, but I just feel awkward about it, Because you can tell in my voice, I really do want to support the game. But I can't at the same time. I really can't. I want to and I don't want to. Anyways, for those of you that are free to play, what you can do, what you I guess should have already been doing if you're a fan, like as soon as this update dropped, as soon as you saw the Scream sneak peek, you should have assumed, if you're a huge Carnage fan, that Carnage was coming. So you should have started trying to refresh your support character list looking for Carnage bios. Now, it's a pretty expensive thing to do, don't get me wrong. But again, if you're free to play, you don't really have another choice. But it's nice that there is this option. I know these bios are really rare, don't get me wrong. I know these bios are really rare. You know what? They should think about offering these bios. Now, let me make a suggestion, another suggestion to Marvel Future Fight, because these bios are in the Danger Room Extreme. They should think about having these bios also available somewhere in the game that you can earn in the same way that you earn these bios from Danger Room Extreme, like at the end of the month, like maybe for GBR, or another game mode, maybe timeline battle. It calculates every week, it calculates your rank, and then it gives you a timeline battle chest. And the timeline battle chest will contain biometrics for one of these characters. There's a lot more of them though. There's a lot more of them. There's like 10 times as many almost. So, or like 6 or 7 times as many of the Biosub characters as it is for the XG and sub characters. But anyways, that would be cool if they did that. Anywho, the other thing you can do is, like I said, if you still have a Biosub, or if you're not boycotting in terms of spending money, you can still use your Biosub to slowly collect bios of Carnage. I collected 500 bios of Carnage over the years since he first came out, so I am pretty much set. What I'm actually going to do, if you guys are curious, for his uniform specifically, because I'm trying to tackle that aspect of the character rank up, is I'm going to use a mixture of his biometrics and a mixture of uniform upgrade tickets that I have. I have this one as well, but I want to make use of his biometrics because I have 500 of them. So there's no point in me using this and then just having 500 leftover bios. So I'm going to use a mixture of bios and these tickets. I think if I use these tickets and then the rest bios, I'll have enough, because you need to cover about 920 bios or 930 bios, something like that. And so you can sort of do the math on each one of these tickets and how much they offer in return to sort of deduct from the total that you need to get. As far as Carnage himself goes, he's going to need a massive upgrade to be very good, because he's very bad right now. But if you already have him at tier 2, then you should start playing with him in World Boss to unlock his potential. I've already done that because I got his potential a long time ago, pure madness. But if you haven't already gotten his potential, then you should start playing with him in World Boss. As far as when he's going to release, I have no idea, because usually they don't release characters on Fridays, or actually, it's not Friday anymore, it's Sunday, Alex. Usually they don't release characters on a Monday. Usually they release characters on a Tuesday. So we'll probably see the Tuesday morning patch, the Tuesday morning update, or daily reset, excuse me. So the 17th, maybe after the 17th, sometime on the 17th, for those of you guys that live in North America, South America. And then that would be like late at night or very early in the morning on the 18th, or in the afternoon on the 18th for you guys in Europe and Asia and Oceania, as far as when Carnage is going to drop. But I don't know. He might drop tomorrow morning at the reset for me, which is in like whatever, a couple of hours after this video drops. He may drop later on in the day. They've been very inconsistent, and that's something that I really dislike. I think they really need to hammer down exactly what they're trying to do here. I know the devs team is not that big for Marvel Future Fight, but they need to let us know in advance. I mean, there's so many things they need to let us know about, but they need to let us know when they do these mid-month patches. Is it going to happen at the daily reset, or is it going to happen at sort of like 9 or 10 p.m., which is what they did starting with Scarlet Witch, right? Scarlet Witch was released sort of in the middle of the day, in the middle of the daily reset cycle, and then they did the same thing for Silver Surfer, I believe, or maybe they didn't. They did the same thing for Odin. There was a few that was like, the patch will be applied in waves. I don't think people like that, so I prefer if they just do it at the daily reset. That makes so much more sense. But yeah, because then if you want to test the character, you have to wait, right? You have to sort of hold off on playing until the patch drops in the middle of the day for you, or whenever it is. So it's just annoying. I wish they would just stick to one or the other. But on top of that, there's tons of other things that they need to know, that they need to tell us about. So With that being said, Carnage is right around the corner. Let me know what you guys think of the announcement. Were you expecting it? Are you relieved? Are you hoping for something else? Are you really just hoping that they respond to the boycott, for example? I don't know. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll finish upgrading Carnage at some point in time. I'm just having a hard time at the moment selecting whose bios I want to sacrifice here. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you. Sorry, Wong. I will see you in the next one. Take care.